What's good, YouTube? It's your boy 2K the God, my man Sess. Welcome to the Gods of Boxing Talk. Now we back at it again. It's time to break some fights down. We had some excellent outcomes of these last two fights we're gonna get into. First one is gonna be Mikey Garcia versus DEJAN ZLATICANIN. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I got 3 words for y'all. Mikey is back.
Yes, sir. Yup.
Before I dig into this shit, man, Sess.
What up?
I mean, it's easy to see what you saw, cause I saw the same shit. Is Mikey back? Is this authentic, fam?
Man, hell yeah. Yes, sir. It is 100% authentic, man. Let me tell you, for a guy to be out of the sport 2 years, come back, have a quote-unquote tune-up fight, and to get back to full form like he did against DEJAN ZLATICANIN, that is amazing. You know, a lot of guys can't do that. You know what I mean? And no knock on my man. I'm gonna mention his name, but no knock on this dude because he's my guy. But look at Andre Ward, a guy who I still believe was a bit rusty in the Kovalev fight. So it just goes to show you, man, that Mikey, because he's still young, was able to do these things. And, you know, I'm sure he didn't leave the gym. He was still training and doing things like that. But his performance was great, man. I mean, DEJAN was no slouch. He was no joke. And I'm sure a lot of people thought that he was going to get in Mikey's ass.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I talked to people who thought that.
Yep. But, man, you know what, just to kind of dive into this, man, this was an excellent display. For one, it was an excellent performance. For two, it was an excellent display of boxing fundamentals. People, boxing 101, man. Let me tell you something. To all our young viewers out there who either aspire to be boxers or who are boxers right now in the amateurs, develop you a jab. I don't care. The jab is the #1 most important weapon in boxing. Absolutely. Okay? I don't care what kind of jab it is. I don't care if it's a strong, stiff jab. I don't care if it's a quick flicking jab. I don't care. But develop you a consistent and persistent jab, okay? Yep. Consistently pumping that bitch out there, okay? Persistent, and you're not gonna stop doing it because it's going to work. Set up everything that you need to set up off of that jab. If you don't develop that jab and you want to say, well, man, look, I got power, man. I got power. You know, I'm good. I got good footwork. I'm good. I got good defense. I'm good. Let me tell you what's going to happen. What's going to happen is, damn, not to knock my man 2K's fighter, but you're going to eventually become a Roy Jones Jr.-esque type of
can't say nothing about that. I can't disagree, fam.
Word. Yep, you can be extraordinarily talented, but if your fundamentals are not in line and you cannot rely on them when you get in trouble, you're gonna find yourself looking up at the lights with this stuck ass look on your face. You know, okay? But man, to get into this fight, man, to touch a little bit on that jab, let me tell the viewers what Mikey was doing. He used his jab in 3 different ways, probably more, but I want to point out 3. For one, it was the conventional jab. Bow, he was popping it. Bow, you know, just throwing it from the chin. The other way he used it was he was doing a tactic that I like to call paw and shoot. He would paw with it, you know, kind of maybe extending it about 2 inches to 3 inches, and then boom, he would extend it the full, you know, 6 inches or 12 inches or whatever it is. You know, that's the paw and shoot. Very good tactic because your opponent really can't time when the real deal jab is coming. Okay. And the third way he was using it was what I like to call, again, the touch and jab. What he would do is he would touch ZLATICANIN's glove with his jab, right? He would touch it, and then boom, he would shoot a real jab off of that. Touch it, line him up, boom. You know, I mean, a lot of the things Mikey was doing, man, it was just so fundamentally sound and smart. that I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't do anything but marvel at what I was seeing in the ring. And honestly, from round 1 to round 3, the way he was using that jab and his fundamentals, this was always going to be the outcome. You could see it on Zlatikanin's face. He could not get around. He couldn't get around Mikey's jab. And then when he would, Mikey would pop him with a check hook and bring his ass right back to the middle of the ring. You know, so man, there was just so much that I was able to see, and I was so proud to watch this performance because it puts Mikey in line. And like we said, it says, I'm back, and come one, come all. So just a great performance, man. I ain't even talk about the knockout. My bad. Go ahead, 2K.
Hey, bruh. Man, oh man, oh man. You know, everything you said, 100% agree. The main thing that he did, two main things he did, kept popping the jab, kept the shorter, more aggressive fighter in the middle of the ring. Those are the two biggest fucking things that he did, being the boxer and the guy that had a 3-inch height and a 3-inch reach advantage over his opponent. He did exactly what the fuck he was supposed to do. Now, the knockout, let me tell you what I was doing, fam. I watched it was what, in round 3, right?
Round 3, yes, sir.
The first 2 rounds, I'm like, man, Mikey fucking this nigga up. Right? I'm like, well, shit, I can afford to go to the refrigerator real quick and get something to drink.
Damn. Oh, man.
I'm in the goddamn kitchen. All I hear is, he's not getting up. I'm like, oh, shit. I had to run. Nigga almost dropped his drink. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, what happened? And I'm watching the Box Nation broadcast. It took these motherfuckers forever to show the replay, fool. Like, I'm seeing all the celebrating. I'm seeing all, the commentators' reactions, the crowd, everybody for like a good 10 fucking minutes with no replay. I'm like, what happened? Everybody texts me, yo, hey fam, you see that shit, nigga? You see that shit? I'm like, no, nigga, I didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? So, but when I did finally get to see it, right, brother, I've been saying it for the past 4 days, fam. The uppercut put him on Queer Street.
Yes, sir.
The right hook put him to sleep, fam. Yo, if the nigga was an insomniac before this fight, Mikey Garcia just cured that shit, B. You know what I'm saying? Yo, my man's heart stopped for 2 minutes, dog.
Oh, man, it had to.
It did, fam. Like, we didn't see, but over there off the side, them motherfuckers was like, clear!
Yeah, word. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they was doing. We didn't see that shit, though. I'm telling you, fam, I was worried,
Yeah, word.
I don't get like that. You know, I'm like fucking Ivan Drago. If he dies, he dies. I'm like that, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But when I saw that shit, I was like, yo, they need to check on my man. They need to make sure, don't look. I'm watching, I'm like, hey, make sure you don't move his head.
I swear I did the same thing, 2K. I'm screaming at the screen like, why they moving him?
Yeah.
Don't move him.
Word life. Word life. Like, yeah, I'm like, don't move him. Let him stay there. Where the damn smelling salts? Put that shit in his nose, fam. Wake him up without moving him. Because if you move him, you can really fuck this dude up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, we're kind of joking about it because he's okay now. Yeah, but this is still a serious matter at the same time. You know what I'm saying? If he wasn't okay, believe me, we wouldn't be joking about any of this. But my props go out to DEJAN ZLATICANIN, man. He knew who Mikey was. You know what I'm saying? Yes, before the fight, I was a guy that was saying that ZLATICANIN could possibly do something. I had Mikey winning. But I said ZLATICANIN could possibly do something. And that's just based off the fact that Mikey was on a 2-year layoff. He only had 1 fight coming back. You know what I'm saying? And in the fight, in his comeback fight, he didn't look like vintage Mikey. Okay?
Yeah.
So there was an opportunity for slippage so to speak, after watching that first fight. But man, did he just blow that shit out of the water. He completely returned back to the Mikey Garcia that was fighting before he had the Bob Arum beef. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So hats off to Mikey. He called out all the other champions at 135.
Yeah, hey,
fam.
come on.
Fam, my favorite fighter right now at 135 is Robert Easter Jr. Okay?
Woo, yeah.
I don't see Robert Easter fighting this nigga, fam.
Yeah.
I don't see Al Heyman putting him in the ring with Mikey Garcia right now. T. Young, he just got the belt. I think his mandatory is Denis Shafikov. Fight him, maybe fight 2 other motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If Mikey Garcia is there, then take him. Hey, but if they take him now, shit, I'll watch the shit out that fight.
Oh yeah.
I'm just talking from a business perspective, nigga. Yeah. Leave that nigga far away from Mikey right now, dog. Especially as we seen how many times he got hit against Richard Comet. Keep him away from Mikey for right now. Exactly. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, Jorge Linares is talking about a unification. He said he wants it. Yo, that's an excellent fight.
There we go.
My only problem, Linares has no fucking defense, fam.
Yep, there
no
you go.
Defense.
Great point.
Very fast hands, suspect chin. Remember what Antonio DeMarco did to his ass.
Woo.
Linares is taxing that ass the whole fight, and all it took was 1 punch, fam. Lights out.
Yep. You know what, 2K, to your point, man, that's a fight that intrigues me, and it's a fight that I'm very interested in because of what you said. Linares has very blazing fast hands, probably some of the fastest hands at 135.
Yep.
You know, to find faster hands, you probably have to go to a Gary Russell or somebody like that.
Absolutely.
Linares is just an extremely fast dude, but like you said, man, there's a couple things that I noticed. For one, he does have a suspect chin. For two, and probably the biggest thing is, I believe you can sort of get under his skin. You can discourage him.
Oh yeah.
We've seen it in the Antonio DeMarco fight. To your point, he was wearing DeMarco's ass out. You know, machine gun.
Word up.
I mean, moving and just doing what he wanted to do. But DeMarco, because he has that persistent pressure, he's not gonna be stopped by anything. And the motherfucker can crack. You know, he beat on Linares until Linares just didn't want no more. He was a bloody mess in that fight. So I do believe that Linares would have a very hard time with Mikey, because Mikey's jab is just, I mean, we've seen it Saturday. His jab is just sick, you know, and he puts his punches together as well. And I think Mikey is a very good puncher. He's a very good puncher who has, I think, power that you really don't expect him to have.
Absolutely.
You know, but nonetheless, if Linares is interested in it, please make that fight happen, man. Make it happen now.
Get it made. He also, the other champion in there, WBO champion, Terry Flanagan from the UK. Now, I absolutely don't think that fight gets made, because Terry Flanagan is with Frank Warren. Frank Warren is kind of losing ground with Eddie Hearn over there in the UK. Yep. So he's not trying to put one of his champions in the ring with a killer like Mikey Garcia. Terry Flanagan's a good fighter. He's undefeated. He's 31-0. But nah, man, Mikey would tax that ass, fam. And I think, exactly. I think Frank Warren knows that fight's not getting made. Also, don't forget, we got other guys like Sharif Boguer. I believe Sharif Boguer, I think he only has one loss, and that was to Richard Brill back in the day. Still a game fighter in the division. And don't forget up-and-coming Felix Verdejo. That's another guy.
Nice.
And he's actually
versus
fighting
Puerto Rico.
Yep, Puerto Rico, exactly. Yep, Mexico versus Puerto Rico, exactly. and he's fighting soon next month. So that's another guy. So 135, man, it's not as stacked as 130. But it's still got some good matchups there. Also, Mikey's talking about going to 140. He said specifically, if motherfuckers don't want to unify 135, he's going to 140. Bro, if he goes to 140, it's even more ridiculous, dog. You got Victor Postal. Even though he got completely outclassed by Terrence Crawford, Victor Postal is still a game opponent for anybody, especially after what he did to Lucas Matisse. Okay? You got fucking Terrence Crawford, of course. You got Adrian Broner. You got Antonio Orozco. Motherfuckers don't really know who Antonio Orozco is. He's a very good undefeated Mexican fighter. Very good. Okay? You got fucking Ricky Burns. You got Regis Prograis. Fool, that's an up-and-coming dude from, I believe he's from Cuba, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's from, I think he might be from here. He might be from here, actually. Regis Prograis is from the U.S. That motherfucker's up-and-coming. A lot of great fights at 140, nigga. I mean, I kind of want him to go to 140, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I really don't need to see Mike in any more tune-ups. Maybe a tune-up at 140 just to get acclimated with the division. But after that, I need him in the ring with one of them guys that I just mentioned, you know, and other top guys that I didn't mention. You know what I'm saying? So, man, big ups to Mikey, big ups to DeJan for or Dejan, excuse me, for taking the fight and being a real champion, man. Next, and this is probably the fight of the night. Well, what was supposed to be the fight of the night. Fight of the night to me was Mikey Garcia's win.
I'm with you.
And knockout of the year so far.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, you know, people are gonna disagree with me on this one, says. Leo Santa Cruz called I wasn't excited. Like, I'm watching the fight. It's a close fight. It has all the trimmings of a fight that could possibly be fight of the year. It has all the trimmings of the fight that could be a fight that you go to work, to school, wherever you go on weekdays, you know, 2 days from that night and say, man, I just watched this fight, fam. This is what happened. It has all the trimmings for me to be excited to do this fucking breakdown on YouTube. But I'm not excited, fam. You know, I'm watching a fight like this, fam. Like, hey y'all, see that right hook that Leo Santa Cruz landed? Niggas in the background. Yeah, we saw it, fam.
Oh, damn.
It just what the excitement just wasn't there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Carl Frampton, the first thing I noticed in this fight, that was a big mistake before these niggas even stepped in the ring. And I called it out. Yes, I'm tooting my own horn. Motherfucker came into the ring as a junior welterweight. Absolutely stupid decision. They showed the rehydration weight. Nigga weighed in at 138. I was like, what is he doing? Okay. Now, I understand why he did it. He wanted to be the bully. But he was bullying Leo Santa Cruz successfully the first fight without the extra 13 pounds.
Great point.
It wasn't fucking needed. You know what I'm saying? So, why would you bring yourself at a heavier weight and risk being fatigued halfway into the fight, which is exactly what happened in my opinion, dog.
Yep.
This shit kind of remind me of James DeGale Bout Jack. And the reason why I say that is Carl Frampton dominated the first half of the fight. Around, I mean, I gave Leo Santa Cruz some of those rounds, of course. I'm just saying. He won more rounds in the first half than Leo Santa Cruz did. Watching the first half of the fight, I was like, man, Carl Frampton's starting to take over, right? He was bullying him. What he was doing was he was coming in with his jab. He would get close enough, land combinations, jump in, jump out. Leo Santa Cruz, it was too much for Leo Santa Cruz to actually respond effectively with. Yes, he did return fire. Yes, he did land punches. But Carl Frampton was landing the more meaningful shots, and he was doing the more meaningful work. Leo Santa Cruz was actually trying to get adjusted in the first half of the fight, right? But then you see Carl Frampton kind of stop what he's doing. He's no longer jabbing. He's actually waiting. He's standing back and he's waiting like this. And then he does this little hop step like this. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's doing that to kind of kickstart himself because he's fucking tired. Okay? I think it was round 9 or 10, fam. The nigga was like, start holding Leo Santa Cruz. He held him like 5 times in that round. You know what I'm saying? He was extremely fatigued, and I blame it 100% on the weight. That's why Leo Santa Cruz, I believe, after round 7, I'm not looking at my scorecard. Leo Santa Cruz completely started to take over that fight, and he won the majority of the later half of the fight, and he won some rounds in the beginning, which turns out to him winning the fight by at least a point or 2 points. Okay, I have absolutely no problem with that. My scorecard was a draw because I had Leo Santa Cruz winning going into the 12th round. I thought Frampton took the 12th round, so that put it as a draw. But I said I have this fight as a draw, hedged with Leo Santa Cruz winning by 1 or 2 points. I have absolutely no problem with the decision. Frampton had no problem with the decision.
Yeah, absolutely.
Only person that had a problem with the decision was his trainer. His trainer seemed to think that Frampton won the fight.
Hell no.
I don't know what the fuck fight he was watching. At the least, it was a draw. At the least, it was a draw. Frampton did not win this fight by any stretch of the imagination. Okay? Leo Santa Cruz did exactly what I predicted he was supposed to do in the first fight.
There you go.
In this fight. And that was establish the jab, maintain distance. One thing he said before this fight, and I'll turn it over to you right after this, fam.
Oh yeah.
One thing he said leading up to this fight, he said, "Yeah, I can use my jab, I can use my distance, I can box, but I want to give the fans what they want to see. So I'm gonna brawl, I'm gonna slug." I was like, "No, don't do that, motherfucker." You know what I'm saying? Actually, that's what you did the first time out, and that's why you lost.
Yep.
But see, he didn't do that. He said it maybe to create a diversion.
Yeah.
Right? And Frampton's trainer said, "Yeah, we're expecting him to box. That's why we're going to try to bully him." But maybe they didn't expect it too much. Maybe that was a diversion as well. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe they expected him to brawl because when Leo Santa Cruz boxed, he did it excellently, and it gave him the victory. What'd you think about this fight, fam?
And you know what, 2K, I agree with a lot of what you said, man. First off, I want to make the point that you said earlier about you not being too excited about this fight. I felt the same way. You know, to me, the second time around, it wasn't as, I guess you could say, organic. You know, it wasn't as authentic as the first fight. The first fight, they went in there and whatever game plans they had to implement it inside of brawling.
Yeah.
You know, the second fight, it looked like to me, they knew the hype surrounding this fight and they wanted to produce something better than the first, but it just couldn't happen. You know, it couldn't happen because of the different game plans they had. That, you know, so I'm with you on that. I wasn't too excited about the fight in the sense that it would live up to the first fight. I never thought it would. Secondly, to me, in my humblest of opinions, it looked like Frampton was trying to fight round 13 of the first fight, and Leo Santa Cruz was fighting round 1 of a completely new, different fight.
Very good point.
You know, Leo Santa Cruz actually, you stated earlier, man, he came out and he did what he said he could do, and that's box. Yeah. He was using the jab. That was one of the things that I had highlighted, you know, in my notes for this fight was all Santa Cruz has to do, stay behind your jab, put your punches together, and don't engage Frampton when he wants to engage, you know, and be first. In the first fight, Leo Santa Cruz was second all the damn time. And when he was first, when he decided to be first, Frampton knew it was coming and he would counterpunch him.
Yep.
You know, I thought that Leo did a very good job in this fight of boxing and showing a little bit of that extra element. Now is he a Guillermo Rigondeaux S type of boxer? We're
Nope.
not saying that. Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying that, but I do think he did some very good things in this fight, and he actually surprised me because when a guy comes from a brawling background like that, he tends to abandon his game plan at the first sight of 4 punches being thrown at him.
Yep.
He'll engage you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, but he did a very good job in keeping his composure, keeping calm at the end of his jab, and to me, the cleaner, more effective punches were landed by Santa Cruz.
Absolutely.
Carl, you said it earlier. Carl, especially toward the end of the fight, Carl would jump in because he was fatigued, and Leo would just kind of unleash punches on him.
Yep.
And in the first couple of rounds, the rounds that I gave Leo in the beginning, Carl was so out of position. I mean, it just looked like he really couldn't find what he was looking for in the ring, And I kept saying to myself, I said, man, it's not his night. It's just not his night. I found myself repeating that honestly within the first 6 rounds. I was just like, damn, because I expected Carl to come in this fight and be quicker, a bit more powerful, because I do think Carl can. I think his punches have real good snap on them. To be such a small guy, and I thought he was gonna have the decisive speed advantage in this fight, and he didn't utilize any of that, accompanied with the footwork, and the body rhythm that he tends to fight with. Dude was so stiff. He was standing straight up, and he didn't even use a lot of that in and out movement that I seen in the first fight. So it just, to me, like I said, it looked like he was fighting round 13.
Yeah.
He heard Leo say that he was gonna box, but it kind of looked and seemed as if he didn't pay much of attention to it, and he just stuck with that mindset of, okay, once he starts brawling, I'm gonna take it to him. I'm not gonna be scared, And I'm just sitting back screaming at the screen, Carl, box.
Word.
Box, be smart, use your footwork, take the angles, pivot. If it's one thing you can exploit with Leo Santa Cruz, it's his slow feet.
Absolutely.
If you have quicker feet, you can get off and pivot, get off and turn him, shoot a different angle. But if you stand in front of him, the guy is gonna return fire, or if you allow him to box you, he's gonna dictate the pace of the fight because he has the size and height and length advantage. So they're talking about doing it a 3rd time in Belfast. Honestly,
Nope.
Exactly. I really don't care to see it. If they do it again, which I'm sure they will, to me, it won't. Yeah. It won't be a must-see TV type of fight. To me. But nonetheless, I'm glad they did do it again. They're 1-1. The trilogy will probably happen later on this year or somewhere around that time. But I'm not that excited. Exactly. Let's get some new opponents in there for these guys.
And you just went into my next question, man. I think part of the reason why I wasn't excited for this rematch, and I wasn't excited while watching, is because we never called for this fight to begin with. Okay.
No.
What was supposed to happen was, and this is from Carl Frampton's fucking mouth, was that once the winner has been decided between Carl Frampton and Scott Quigg, the winner would execute the order that the WBA had for the winner to fight my man, and he's about to do it.
Know what that means, okay?
AKA the Jawbreaker, Guillermo Rigondeaux. Now, Carl Frampton told us, he said, yeah, I'll fight him. I'll fight him. If I beat Scott Quigg, I will fight Guillermo Rigondeaux. He said he was confident that he can beat Guillermo Rigondeaux, and he proceeded to go into his style and why his style is all bad for Guillermo Rigondeaux. Okay? Right after the fight, it was, Rigo's boring. He doesn't have enough of a fan base. He's not a big draw. Family to take care of. Get the fuck out of here! And then all of a sudden he goes to 126 and he's announcing Leo Santa Cruz. Now, while that is a good fight, right? You left a bad taste in everybody's mouth because you told us before the Scott Quigg fight that you would fight Guillermo Rigondeaux to see who the real Jackal is. Okay? That is a much better fight or more intriguing fight than fucking Leo Santa Cruz. I'm sorry. And anybody who disagrees with that, you don't know shit about Guillermo Rigondeaux. You don't know how to look at his style. You don't know none of that shit. Okay?
Exactly.
That is a much more intriguing fight. All right?
Yep.
So that's one reason why I wasn't into this fight to begin with. And then you had a rematch. It's like, I mean, the first one wasn't even supposed to happen. Okay, I'll watch it. I mean, shit. I mean, it's probably the second best fight of the year. You know, Golovkin Jacobs is kind of right there, but this one's probably a little bit better in terms of matchups. I'll watch it. Fuck it. I'll watch it. Like I said, hey, y'all see that jab Leo landed? Yeah, fam, we saw it.
Yeah.
I don't want to see no third one, man. Let's get some other cats in the mix. You got Gary Russell Jr., who's actually ranked #1 in the division. Okay? Gary Russell versus motherfucking Leo Santa Cruz. I want to see that, dog. You know what I'm saying? Lee Selby was supposed to fight Carl Frampton, and Carl Frampton won this fight.
Yep.
Lee Selby's kind of like, you just lost. You know what I'm saying? You fucked with my money. You know what I'm saying? I think they still can make that fight over in the UK. It'd be a big fight in the UK. You know what I'm saying? Shit, you got Abner Mares, who just dominated Jesus Cuellar. You know what I'm saying? You got Oscar Valdez. You got my man Jojo Diaz, fam. Hey. Jojo Diaz. That motherfucker is nice, up and coming fighter.
Yes, sir.
Bring him in there. I want to see these niggas, dog.
Me too.
I don't want to see no trilogy, man.
Me neither, man.
It is what it is, man. You got anything else to add, fam?
That's it, 2K.
Alright. Great fights this weekend, all in all. Congratulations to Leo Santa Cruz for taking it. Please, dog, to go another direction. I know you promised a trilogy. Hey, bro. You don't need to get that nigga a trilogy, dog.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, shit. You two, do what you do in the comment section would be real. Do you want to see a trilogy between these two fighters? And I know a majority of people will say so because it was a good fight. So majority of people will disagree with us on that. But yeah, let us know what you think about that. This is Real Talk for Real Fans. 1.